I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
I wanted to ask you if you could take me back in time and tell me how the band became a reality.
Oof.
Can you take this one over?
I guess we started off very tail end of 2019. Dunk and our original rhythm guitarist Andy put an ad out on a website called joinmyband.com, and I saw the ad. Turned out we had an initial jam, and just kind of started from there. We finally got a lineup sorted out, and then COVID hit and lockdowns, and then we didn't see each other for probably 6 months after that. But in the meantime, Dunk and I were starting to kind of send song ideas to each other. And so when we finally got to meet up again, we actually had some material to get together, and then we started gigging. And
yeah, it was around the same time, around the COVID time, that we unfortunately found this guy.
And you guys have such a unique sound. I wanted to ask you, do you come from different musical backgrounds?
Not drastically different, but I think because there's the kind of breadth of ages. I mean, Dunk is the oldest because he's like 90 now. So I'm the next eldest, and then Ross the drummer, and then Joe's the youngest, and we kind of cover quite a long period. And of course, everyone's real area of focus tends to be what they've grown up with. And like for me, I was 14 in 1991, so that kind of that grunge era and all the alternative rock that was coming out of that. That's kind of what I was really into. But I also, when I was much younger, was into 80s metal as well. Whereas Dunk's a bit older.
Yeah, I grew up in the Bahamas, so we're just up the coast there from Florida. So we're back in the 70s, where it was all about Kiss, Van Halen, Ted Nugent, so my background is kind of, I was a complete Kiss fan, like most people were back in the 70s.
Yeah, I definitely was.
Yeah, I mean, Ace Frehley made me what I am today. He made me want to be a musician, made me want to pick up the guitar, because I play guitar and sing as well. So yeah, Kiss kind of made me what I am, but we don't really sound like Kiss.
No, we don't.
I think my influences
or look like them.
Yeah, I think my influences kind of came more from same with Jan, like the 90s. So like Mother Love Bone was one of my favorite. That obviously became Pearl Jam. So they're probably one of my biggest influence. But Joe kind of took influences from your dad, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't really get into rock music till the early secondary school, and I borrowed an Iron Maiden album off a friend, which is the Somewhere in Time album, because I thought the cover was cool. You know, they always have cool covers. And then the second I brought that home, my old man was like, "Here's Sabbath, here's AC/DC."
Yep.
His collection, and
finally the time has come.
Yeah, then I went but yeah, that's the sort of stuff that I like, is the older stuff.
Yeah.
And it can go backwards too, because my daughter grew up around metal all the time, and now she's a K-pop fan.
Okay.
So it can go the other way as well.
My kids luckily haven't done that to me, because that's been my biggest fear. But both my kids are into that.
I want to talk to you about the track "Don't Stare at the Sun." It's a standout track for me. I wanted to ask if you could speak on it.
Lyrically, it's your baby.
Yeah, that's it goes back to you guys over there. It's a little bit political. It's about the police brutality, and kind of, yeah, I suppose, yeah, it kind of hit hard with me. Some of the things, I'm not going to name the names, that hit the news over there, that the police did kind of wrong to a few different people, and it's about that.
It's something that for us is relatively alien. Like, if we have police brutality here, it's somebody is kind of slapped about a bit. But although we have armed police, it's a specialist role, so you don't get that kind of that same level of finality of it.
And Free Your Mind is another standout track for me. I wanted to ask if you could speak on that track as well.
Yeah, that was a track that you wrote, wasn't it?
That was that. Funny enough, the song structure was one that I had floating around for years, even before I joined the band, and so I kind of presented it as a almost a done deal. Although we did the middle eight, I think, came from Andy. And then Dunk put some lyrics to it, and it's about Robert Johnson.
Yeah, it's all about Robert Johnson. So it's about the crossroads and meeting the devil and all that sort of thing. So I've always loved that story. And yeah, Jan comes with the guitar parts, and the lyrics for me just kind of flow. And on that day, I was obviously thinking about Robert Johnson. So
And getting back to your sound, I wanted to ask you, um, can you tell your fans what the live experience is with you?
with me,
Yeah.
I'm still stuck in the old David Lee Roth. I can't do the high kicks or anything like that, but I like to move around a lot, which these two don't like so much.
Funny enough, when because we were a five-piece,
Mhm.
and parted ways with Andy, the original rhythm guitarist, and I said to Dunk, you should just play guitar on some songs, and that was partly because I think it's important to keep that kind of that thickness of sound live and try and replicate as much as
Sure.
possible, airing and stuff, but also it kind of kept him pinned a bit more,
Tied down.
tied down. It was like I remember playing one gig particularly, and it was quite a nice big stage, and I wanted to be able to go over to the other side of the stage and kind of just kind of hang out with Joe and Andy on the other side of the stage, but Doug was pinging back and forth. I don't know if you've ever played the game you have to cross the road.
Sure.
It was like that. It just wasn't safe.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a thing as well where I like to swing my microphone, so it gets dangerous out there.
And also, I play a flying V, and it's kind of quite pointy. So injuries can happen.
And you guys have created an amazing album from top to bottom. Like I told you when I invited you, I wanted to ask you, are most of your lyrical inspirations from life experience?
No, from Dr. Seuss. I kind of, I don't even know where they come from. Everybody asks me the same questions. It just, on the day, something will hit me in the head and it'll be like, I'm going to write a song about a certain situation, but it's nothing to do with me. It's like a story. Like we've got one called Albino Baboon, which is about a transvestite albino baboon killer. And I have no idea where that came from, but it just popped into my head. And it's all, I've got to get a story in my head, and the lyrics come from that. I get a nice chorus, and the rest of it kind of writes itself around it. So I don't know where they come from.
And the album artwork is fantastic. I wanted to ask you, who is responsible for the artwork and what was the concept behind it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the initial idea was because we had a working title of Herd anyway, and I kind of had the idea of that we've kind of created this mascot character of the guy with the hood and the moose head, and so it kind of came from that. And then these guys basically worked.
Yeah, well, Kelly comes up with most. Our manager, she comes up with most of the graphics and the ideas and all that sort of thing. But I think we throw ideas her way, and then she builds on that, and then comes back with about 1,000 pictures that we say no to, and then she'll just have one that we say, yeah, that's definitely it. Which it's a hard album cover. The first album that we had, we just could not decide on an album. We had to have a vote in the last, maybe 2 or 3 days before it was supposed to be released.
Wow.
This one, I think we kind of all liked.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic. It's one of the best album artworks I've seen so far this year. Hell, I'd love to put the whole thing on my back wall.
Yeah. I thought you could say on your back. I thought you were going to get a tattoo.
We could work something out, maybe an agreement on the price. Now that this album is out, though, what can fans look for next? What's the next step for you?
Just more gigging and just getting out there in front of more people. And it's we're in quite a relatively speaking remote part of the UK, so it's a peninsula and we're quite far down it. So it's kind of hard to get out gigging. Just bigger, better venues and more.
Yeah, we seem to be pushing the album song-wise more this year than we did in the last album. The last year from the last album, we were doing a lot of gigging, a lot of touring, a lot of festivals. We had some awesome gigs with that album. And with this one, we seem to be trying to become bigger worldwide. We've been sending it to radio stations, commercials, movies, and everything, and it's trying to get kind of more known. Like it's really really hard down here where we live to
Sure.
get. Just we're just in a local kind of what was it, Cornwall Live.
Yeah, web-based news site.
Yeah, and on there it kind of said small band in Cornwall, big in America. Because we've had so many radio plays out in the States lately. It's been phenomenal for us.
We have more fans in the States definitely than we do
Yeah.
in our own region.
That's unreal. That's unreal because, you know, as when we grew up over here in America, I was listening to the English invasion, Sabbath, Who, you know, those big bands from England, and now it's turned the other way. Because I hear many stories in other countries where a lot of clubs closed during COVID and got shut down.
Yeah.
And here they got shut down, but people bought them up right away after COVID and they opened back up.
Not so much here.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of venues. I mean, both of us, we've been in gigging bands for a long time now, and a lot of the venues I was playing 20 years ago, they're just not there anymore.
Wow. I wanted to ask you, along your musical journey, what do you feel has been the best advice that has been given to you along the way?
Don't do it. Just stick with your guns. A lot of people play guitar and give it up straight away, or try to form a band and give it up. If it's in your blood, you've got to just keep going with it. It's we've never been famous, but I've never given up since being in a band from 13. I don't think there's been more than half a year where I haven't been in a band, and you just got to keep that dream going. It's harder today to make it, obviously, because of the internet, and there's no record sales, and you don't get the big money, thing like that anymore. So it's got to be for the love of the music, and to find, 4 people who really love what they do, love playing live, love recording. It's a pleasure to work with these guys. They probably don't think it's the same for me. I'm not a pleasure. But it's really nice to be in a band with 4 guys that really like the same thing.
I'd say similar to that, the best advice is to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's for the enjoyment.
And I think that's a strong point of the album as well, is that you can hear the unity of the band and how tight you are together.
Yeah.
It definitely stands through. And that's what many bands spend years and years trying to achieve, is their own sound and their own feel, and to be tight together, and not do the David Lee Roth thing and say, well, I'm I'm the big singer now, and so I want 60%. If you don't give me 60%, I'm out, even though both brothers are the name of the band. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that is what ruins bands and stuff like that. So it's great to have that camaraderie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely there's no egos in this band. There's no room for that.
And when you guys have been on the road, I wanted to ask you, do you have a favorite road story?
It's going to be the brand. Do you want to tell it?
No, you tell.
So, last year we were playing with Brant Bjork. Used to be the drummer from Caius.
Hmm.
There's a lot of solo stuff himself, and we're big fans of his. And we had the pleasure to play a gig with him last year. And it was a really big venue, huge stage, and we all come racing on like you do. And I introduced the wrong place to the band to go with the rest.
So we were playing in a city called Southampton, and first of all, Dunk says, "Hey, Bristol, how the F you doing?" And of course, it wasn't Bristol at all. So I kind of sidled over, went, "We're in Southampton." So he thought he'd try and cover for himself, and there's a neighbouring city to Southampton called Portsmouth, and they're like intense rivals, like their football teams. So he thought it'd be funny, and he said, "Sorry, how you doing, Portsmouth?" At that point, the girl on the lights desk just turned all the lights off. The place went black.
Oh,
Started back on, but that was no way of going.
Yeah, there was a couple of laughs, but
No.
yeah, that was a bad one. I have a problem, give a loudmouth a microphone and you're going to have trouble. And most gigs, I normally say the wrong thing to probably the wrong guy.
And now the album's out. I wanted to ask you, what's the best way to get a copy of the album and any merchandise that you have?
Yeah, on a website, I suppose. Just looking at the manager, everything's on the website. Yeah, it's on the website.
Yeah, so you've got links to different things like the vinyl. You can order it like direct,
Excellent.
with like a bespoke pressing service.
It's called Elastic Stage. So everything's made to order, and it takes about 3 weeks before you receive your vinyl. 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because obviously we're all self-funded, otherwise it's just a massive outlay for a massive number of vinyls. And
Yeah, as for CDs and things like that, you can get them from the website as well, which we send out. But the vinyl's through a different company. So
And we're on all the streaming services, but obviously we'd rather people bought our CD.
Sure, absolutely. I think there's nothing better than having a copy in your hand.
yeah, man, you go back to the old days, that's what it was all about. You know, the gatefold albums, used to read it from start to finish. I try to explain it to my daughter about it and say, back in the old days, you used to get it, you loved it, you listened to every single track and you knew every track. Today, kids don't have that. You know, they go on, they download it, they listen to the first or second track, and then they jump onto another band and another band. They don't. I don't think kids today appreciate the full album like we did in the old days.
And we tried to do that. We tried to write an album that you could listen to from start to finish.
Yeah.
And actually, like if you listen to it, the fade out on the last track actually then matches the fade in to the first track. And we just wanted to create things like that would make it much experience. Yeah, my kids are sort of they've learned to, because they've just been raiding my CDs, so they've learned to kind of appreciate the album. But we played with a Norwegian band last week called Machina, and they've released their newest album on vinyl, CD, and cassette, and they were selling a gig. And there is a resurgence, like the kids are buying cassettes.
Yes, definitely. And lastly, I wanted to ask you if you could give a message to your fans, what message would you give them?
To go online and follow us. It's we do it. We love the music, but obviously we do it because we want people to listen to us. And the first album that we had, that went to a big rock magazine over here, and it got 10 out of 10. And personally, I think the second album's even better than the first album. You know, and yeah, I'd love people to listen to us. We like the feedback. You know, we're our biggest critics, but we'd love to hear what everybody else thinks of us. You know, it's just getting the word out there.
Well, I loved the album from top to bottom. It made me go back to your past catalog, and it's been a great journey that you have made from album to album. You can definitely hear the evolution of the band, and the band sounds better with everything you do.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you guys.
Likewise, thank you so much for your support and interest in the band.
Please keep me updated with any new news as it comes about, my friends. I'll be sure to get it out there for you.
Okay, no problem, man.
Thanks.
Thank you, my friends, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, man.
Take care.
Thanks a lot, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.